We make like indie rock, indie pop music. Okay. Heavily inspired by bands like the Backseat Lovers, Peach Pit, Bristol Maroney, people like that.
Matters more, like doing consistent live shows or posting consistent content?
Live. Dude, it's the Fortnite might bring world peace one day.
Seriously, yeah. Ukraine, Russia, they just play a tournament. No kidding. Welcome back, guys, to the Loser Island podcast. I'm your host, Simon Quay. And today, before we start the show, I just want to start off and say, fuck East Lansing Police. They gave me a ticket. $35. That's some fucking bullshit. You guys, whack as fuck. But anyway, back to the show. I'm here with a very, very, very special guest. I'm here with the star of the indie music scene right now.
Hello, I'm Elijah Flood.
Mr. Elijah Flood, the lead singer and lead guitarist of HemmingWay Lane. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you,
dude,
man.
I'm stoked to be here. We've been talking about this for a minute.
No, we've been talking about it, and like obviously you guys don't know, but me and Elijah go way back. Like I want to say, like I knew him since I was like 13.
I think so. I don't know, PK retreat. I think that I started
Pastors'
going.
Kids.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, probably. I think I was in junior high when I met you.
Yeah, and before you started a band, and we weren't friends at first, but I don't know what changed. Just
I don't know. Older. I think that we just need to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we were both just annoying.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you're in a band, HemmingWay Lane, and what's for the people that don't know? Explain your band real quick, and what type of music do you make?
We make like indie rock, indie pop music. Okay. Heavily inspired by bands like the Backseat Lovers, Peach Pit, Bristol Maroney. People like that.
So cool.
And so I don't know, just music to kind of, I don't know, drive down a dirt road to, but not like, I don't know. That's not correct. I'm just not gonna explain.
Well, indie music, it's like now it's such a broad genre. Yeah. It used to be like a little bit like just some guitar and drums and like good vocals. Now it's like
it can be anything.
Anything, yeah. And anything's labeled as indie. But so going back to the band though, when did you first start the band, and why did you first start the band?
So I started the band. In 2019. It was like December 2019. I dropped out of college because I wasn't doing well.
Right. What were you studying?
I was just administrative law, so it's just like business law. Yeah, it was gross. And so I dropped out of college, and I was like, I need to find something else to do.
Right.
I need to find something else to do. And so I started the band, and I don't know, just since then we've been kicking. We kind of took, like, we started and then like the pandemic happened, like all the lockdowns, so we couldn't play shows or anything. And so for from December of 2019 till June of 2021, we kind of just sat around trying to write music and figure out what we wanted the band to be. And
nice. So yeah. And then how did you guys come up with that name, HemmingWay Lane? Was it like you guys see a sign or something?
Yeah. Like where we grew up, there's a neighborhood called HemmingWay Lane, and I think it spoke to us.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just like a unique name to you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's such a weird time to start a band though. The pandemic, that must have been brutal. You're just like,
I think so. Yes, it very weird. I think it helped us a lot because it gave us a year and a half to really sit and be like, we need to be good when we start, like instead of like we didn't have like our learning process for what we wanted the band to be and how we wanted it to be was all internal rather than it being public and in front of people. So it saved us a little bit of embarrassment, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Because those first few songs were not good. Dude, they were bad. And so
well, speaking of like the beginning process, when you guys first started off the band, did you guys envision like a different sound, or did you guys always have the mind of being an indie band?
So I would say so. I think that the sound that we have and kind of the sound that we're moving towards with some stuff that we've got coming up, I think that it's been pretty specific in our heads. There's been some deviation here and there with a little bit of like different influences as we've grown and as we've met different people, and you know. But I think when we started the band, I was pretty into. There's a band called Wallows. I was pretty into them, and so I was like, like I want to make music like that, like them, Michigander, stuff like that. And so I was just like, I want to be like this, and I want to do music like this. And so I was pretty dead set when I first started doing music, though. Like I thought that I was gonna make music like 21 Pilots or like Dominic Fike, a little bit like guitar, but not like you know. And so I that was kind of I don't know.
No, so, definitely, yeah, because it's like. I think everybody, well, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of artists, they have an envision like what it's going to sound like. And like, especially when you're not in when you're with the band with other people, you don't really can control 100% of the sound. You can only like say certain things. So definitely I can see how like you had like, cause like when I started practicing with Henry, I wanted to be in a like shoegaze type of music, but now it's more like blues and like hard rock, which is like awesome too. But like,
no, it is interesting. I think, I don't know, everybody's creative like process is different, and
right?
So it's cool to see the changes that have come since when I was like, let's do music. It is interesting to see just how different they are.
Yeah. So, talk about some of your, like, what's one of your fondest memories of, like, when you guys were just starting out? Like, early days that, you know, some fans probably don't know about.
I think, like, when we, I don't know, there's a few key moments where, like, I got my first electric guitar, and then, like, it didn't hurt to press down on the strings. Or, like, when I was first getting, like, bar chords and stuff like that was all really cool. I think that a moment for me personally where I was like, oh my gosh, like this feels really cool was when we were writing our song Hemmingway Lane. Yeah. Like our essentially the title track of the band. It was the first time that I'd ever experimented with chords that weren't just like major or minor chords.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I think that it's technically like a 9 chord, which I couldn't tell you what that means. But I like it was like that, and we had like the intro beginning, like the picking riff, and I was like, this is so cool, like this sounds so cool. And so I would say like writing that song, getting our first show, it was a really cool one for me because I like everybody, I had this like this delusion where I was like, we're gonna play this show and then we're gonna finish and somebody's gonna offer us a major recording contract, and that wasn't that wasn't the case, and that's okay, you know. But I think that everybody has that dream where like you play one show and then
some guy comes up to you, hey, you guys are really good, sign, why don't we go talk to him? You know?
Sign on the dotted line, I'll make you famous tomorrow.
360 deal.
And so I think getting our first show was super cool. When we got our first show, there was just 2 of us. It was my buddy Gunther and I, and it was funny because then I was like, dude, we got a show, and he was like, that's so sick. We gotta find other bandmates. We need a drummer and a bassist. And
it was just 2 guitars.
Yeah. And so like that was the beginning, and that was like the entire pandemic. We didn't have a drum or anything, and neither of us know how to play the drums or are good at the drums. Right. And so
it's so interesting. So when you're having just 2 guitars, how do you guys like come up with like you guys just think of a drum pattern, or are you playing beats in the background or something?
So when our first drummer sat down behind the kit and was like, and we were like, these are our songs, we gave 0 direction because like there was like a specific, so like in our song Hemmingway, there's like the da, 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 da. Like we knew that we had an idea for that where we wanted like the da, 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 where then it goes into the drum fills and then kind of fills out from there. But honestly, he sat down and we were like, do whatever you want, like, you know, like do what you feel sounds right, and we'll be okay with it, or we can give direction, you know. And so that's kind of just where we were at with it. I didn't care. It was just cool to have like a fuller sound. You know?
Definitely. And then when did you guys officially have all like 4 people to play?
So actually, it's kind of funny. We had like 3 weeks until the first show, and we still didn't have a bassist, and I was like, crap, I don't know what we're gonna do. And I used to work at Kroger, and my like manager invited me to her house for like a salsa party that they were having. Right. And I went there, and then I was sitting on the couch, and they made me bring my acoustic guitar because they wanted me to play music. So I was sitting on the couch, and I picked up my guitar, and I started playing some of our songs. And like this dude, I'd been talking to him like the entire night up until that point. This dude like his name is Jacob Baselli. He's my good buddy. He goes, did you say you needed a bassist? And I was like, yeah, man, we got to find one pretty soon. He goes, hold on. He like grabs his phone, looks at his schedule and goes, all right, dude, I'll be your bassist. And I was like, sounds good, man. And so he played bass for us for about, I think 8 months. And then he has his own band called One Exit Down. That he like went on to, they're still doing their thing and they're really good.
I'm curious. Did I see, did he play? Did I see him play once? Maybe at the Ham House, or is that a different guy? Cause I remember he had.
So, did you come to our first? Okay, so our first show ever in Lansing was at the Church of Elvis Presley.
Okay, I wasn't there for that.
You weren't there? No. Gabe was there. So if you haven't seen Gabe at one of our shows, then
okay.
But he played with us there. I'm trying to think at Ham's house. That was Logan. That's
okay. It was
my bassist now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you guys are watching this far, make sure to like the video, subscribe, do all this.
Share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends, all that good jazz. Okay, but back to the show. So you kind of talked about it a little bit, but you've already talked to me about like, you know, your first show and like touring, because you've been on a tour before.
Yeah, we've done a few.
What's it like touring, you know?
So all of our tours have been pretty short. But dude, it's so fun. Like it's been our touring, or my experience with touring has just been like a roller coaster where like you play the shows and then you go to bed wherever you're staying, and then you get up and you just get into the van and drive. Mm-hmm. But like being on the road with the 4 dudes that I have toured with me, like it's so fun, and like it's so cool because you're really just, it's like you and then middle America,
right? You know?
Yeah. You're just driving through Wisconsin and you're like whatever. So it's cool. It's been a really cool bonding experience, and like I haven't walked away from a tour being like, oh, that was not great. It's been fun every time, and so it's cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like traveling to play shows. We played in Muncie, Indiana on Friday.
Oh, okay.
And like it was funny. We had 2 bands from our area. It was HemmingWay Lane and then Brown Maple.
Yeah.
And because of like the situation, like we all just crammed into my van, and so there was just like 6 of us in this van, and it was just so fun. We just driving.
Are you guys singing, playing music while you guys are going to the next spot?
No. We we're listening to music, but a lot of it is just like us making fun of each other.
Right.
I'm just yelling at my buddy Jeff a lot.
So you kind of talked about it a little bit, but like just give us like a breakdown, like what's the best parts and what's the worst parts of touring, like the tour lifestyle.
The best part, I love playing music, and I like kind of presenting the art that I've made to people in that fashion, and so I like just being able to play music and jam these songs is so sick. It's so cool. The worst part, I guess, I don't know. Sometimes it gets like drives are long, you know. Yeah. Sometimes you got to make a drive through the night. How many states have you played in so far? We've played in, I think, 6.
And where's the farthest one you've driven to?
So it was Madison, Wisconsin. We played in Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah. And that was not the worst drive. The worst drive we had was we drove from Rockford, Illinois home in a night. Because we were playing in Lansing the next day.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah. It was like 4:30 in the morning, and we still had an hour left.
Everybody's dead.
Dude, it's like I'm the only one awake. Yeah. I pulled off into a gas station. I woke up my drummer Josh. I was like, dude, we gotta switch. He's like, all right, cool. That was a tough one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does that process work? Like you just like, all right, it's your turn. Like, you know.
So for a lot of what we've done so far, I drive, and I don't have an issue with that. I like driving. Mm-hmm. So like I'll drive and I'll make it there, and then every once in a while we'll hit a situation where like it is that late. Mm-hmm. The sun is coming up, and you just hey dude, we gotta trade off. I need to close my eyes for a little bit. So.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine. And it's like going to even farther states like Florida or something.
Dude, it's yeah.
That's going to be a pain.
When we get there, I'll let you know how it goes. I'll call you.
Well, I mean, like, do you always have to drive? Is like flying sometimes an option?
Not right now.
Okay, not right now. Yeah.
Not right now. Yeah, if
I mean, Spirit's pretty cheap.
I know, but no, not right now.
Yeah.
Not worth the risk.
Right. No, definitely not. Okay.
Damaged goods.
But let's talk about your first album that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah. From My Heart to Yours.
My Heart to Yours. Yep. And talk about what was the mindset of creating your first album, and like what did you envision for it to be for the public?
I think that it turned out exactly how I thought it was going to turn out, which is very cool. I know that sometimes that's not how it works out. It was a lot of those songs that we had were just songs that it was just the songs that we had, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I think the oldest song on the album is called Falling, and we don't ever play it because it is our it's just our oldest song. It's not my favorite. But there are a few of the newer songs like Peabody and I'm trying to think of the timeline, Pouring Rain, all of those songs, they came a little bit later, so we were subbing out some of the older songs, and we're like, all right, we're just not going to work with those.
Okay.
But no, yeah, I'm I love that album. I listen to it every once in a while, just give it a skim through.
How nervous were you before it came out?
Dude, I remember it came out on October 1st, and on September 3rd, is it 30th? Is there 30 days in September? The last day of September, I was with my girlfriend. She came home from college because her brother was on the homecoming court. Mm-hmm. And so we were driving to the high school that we graduated from, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, it doesn't feel like we're releasing the album tomorrow. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, what if it's what if it's not good enough? You know what I mean? Yeah. There's always that. Well, I could do this better. I could do that better.
Yeah.
So dude, I was so nervous. I felt like I just didn't know. I didn't know what the perception of it was going to be, and we got really lucky where people did really enjoy it. And so, I love playing those songs. They're very different live than they are recorded. So I encourage people to come and see us live.
Yeah. But why do you think it sounds so different, though, in your opinion?
I mean, our recording process was super spaced out, where we recorded it over the course of a year.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we would record a song, and then we would have shows, and so then we would those songs had time to grow and change, and what I mean, evolve over time. And so I think that is a part of it where we've just been playing them so long that we sometimes you do something accidentally, and then you go, I like that a lot. And so definitely. It's just stuff like that. I think that the songs have just kind of grown with us as we've played them.
Okay.
And so how they are today is a more true reflection of who we are,
Definitely, yeah.
And so
for that first album, though, you definitely wrote most all of the lyrics, or would you say
there are 3 lines on the first album that I didn't write.
Okay, so but you wrote the majority of that. Yeah. So when it comes to writing lyrics, especially for your first album, talk to me about that process. How do you come up with? Do you just write off what your life is or other people's life? Or?
Yeah, a lot of the first album was me. We had just started the band, so a lot of the first album was me processing a breakup that I had gone through right before we started the band. And so it's kind of that. It's a little bit of things that people sometimes somebody will say something to me, and I'll be like, I kind of like that, and so I'll try to work with it. Sometimes it's literally just me having a chord progression that I like, and then freestyling over it for 15 minutes to see if I can catch anything that I like, and then running with that. And so it's all over the board for what that was.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's cool and interesting. So, that your hit song, Teenage Fever Dream. Yeah. That song is almost at 100. I mean, it is at 100,000 streams.
I think it's at 99K.
But across all platforms, 100,000. Yeah. So, talk about that song. Did you expect that song to be your biggest song? And what were you thinking when you first made that song?
So that song came from I had the lyrics written for so long, and then I finally I was like, all right, I want just an upbeat song, kind of something that you can groove to. For the album, and I was like, okay, we'll work with this one. And so it needed some changing. It's not it's one of the oldest songs on the album, but it's just as far as the structure of it, it's very new.
Yeah.
And so I I wrote it and we played it and I was like, that's pretty good. Like that's fun. It's a fun song.
Wait, did you play it first or did you write it first?
So I worked out the structure on my end where I'm playing like rhythm guitar, and then I brought it to the guys and I was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And then we kind of tighten stuff up.
Okay, that's cool.
They suggest changes. I go, okay, that's fine, you know. And so it was like that, and then we played it out for, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 months before we released the album. And then this dude on TikTok, like somebody sent it to him, and then he was like, he posted it, and then the TikTok got like 65,000 views.
Oh my gosh!
And so it was dumb luck that it worked out, and I didn't think it was going to be that one, but I'm perfectly okay with it being that one. That one's like so fun, dude. I love playing that.
Isn't that funny how it always works? Like the songs are like the stuff you think it's not going to be that big. It's usually your biggest stuff.
Yeah,
and like the stuff you think is going to be big usually isn't.
It's like the song that you write in 8 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like
that's the one that's just going to go crazy.
And you see videos on it, people are like, yeah, I wrote this beat in 5 minutes. You're like, bull crap. But then it's like, you probably might have did. I don't know.
No.
But yeah, about that song. So what makes you think everybody liked that song and like it blew up?
I don't know.
You know,
I couldn't tell you. That song has like no meaning at all. It's literally just like hey, we're young and we're trying to figure life out. You know what I mean? Yeah, like falling in love. And so, that song, it didn't come from a place of where I was like, I need to work through something. It came from like I'm 19. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think it's funny. I don't know. People have latched onto it. I don't think when we like play locally and we're like, we play in Michigan and whatnot, I don't think that that's the song that people gravitate to the most.
Right.
I feel like our song Hemmingway, like that one, or our song Dugout, like those two songs get a little bit of a better reaction, but I just think it's funny. It's just a fun song.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a good vibey song, especially that guitar solo and stuff. So yeah.
Gunther killed it with that.
Definitely. Shout out to Gunther. But so with that song though, like when a song blows up for you, like what are you guys just thinking? Like, are you guys thinking like, holy crap, we need to like promote it more, or music video, or like, you know, like what are you guys thinking for like when a song blows up?
So I don't know. I can walk you through like the day that TikTok got posted. Like I was at work. I was just chilling at work. I was using the restroom and I got a TikTok notification and I hadn't posted anything. So I thought that it was just like one of those spams, like, visit the link for a free iPhone. And I was like,
wait, did you guys have a TikTok, the HemmingWay TikTok page up? Yeah,
we did, but we had like 3 videos on it. You know what I mean? I think the most views that we had was like 350.
Right,
you know what I mean? With 11 likes.
TikTok's brutal until you finally get a viral video.
No, exactly. And so I got a TikTok notification. I was like, I'm not looking at it. I'm just going to clear this. So I go on break in 40 minutes. I'll look at it then. And then all of a sudden, like my phone, like in my pocket, I was standing in the lunchroom at the school that I work at. My phone in my pocket was just like, bzz, bzz, bzz,
okay,
bzz, and I was like, what is happening? And then I like open it, I look at it, and it's just this dude. It's the Bun, I think 93.1. I wish I knew that off the top of my head better because he's helped us a lot. But it's just this dude, and he's like, you got to check this band out. They're from Michigan, and then people are like, I'll check that band out. And so it's just stuff like it was just like that. And then like I remember immediately I opened up our Spotify for artists, and like like the song had jumped, like the video had been posted for like maybe an hour and a half. The song had jumped to like 4,000 listens, and I was like, oh my gosh! I sent a screenshot to our group chat, and I was like, what is going on?
right.
What do we do?
Holy shit, guys! Yeah.
And we had a few ideas where we were like, well, we could shoot a music video for it. We could blah 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 blah, and we didn't do any of that.
Why not? Do you think fans would want to see one?
Maybe, I don't know. I think it was like a weird spot where we were super busy. We were just playing shows. We were just trying to play as many shows as possible to be like, hey, we have an album, like going different places. And
right.
And so I think it just didn't work out where we had the time to. It'd have been cool, but I didn't. It's not like something that I'm like losing sleep over.
Yeah, definitely. No. Okay, and then the last question about the album. What was your favorite memory about the album? Either like writing or, you know, playing with the boys. What's something about that album that you remember that sticks out to you?
I think my favorite, probably my favorite memory of just like recording it would be when we recorded the song From My Heart to Yours.
Okay.
it was like the last song that we had to do. And so we drove up to our producer's house. His name is Gabe Ellerton. You know Gabe?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Shout out to Gabe, dude. I love
Gabe.
that guy. We drove up to his house. It was in Charlotte, Michigan. And his house was like right next to a train track. And so we were doing just a scratch track before. So it's like it's just like what we use as a reference.
Okay.
We're doing the scratch track, and a train rolled by as we were recording it. And so like you can hear it in the song. And I like finished the song, and then Gabe like turned around in his chair to me and was like, "I'm so glad that you didn't stop playing when the train rode by." And I was like, "Yeah, I figured it's just scratch track. It is what it is." And then we listened back to it, and we're like, "Oh no,
sounds better." Yeah,
like this is the song. And so then from there, it was really cool because it was just Gunther, Gabe, and I at his house. We like walked around his neighborhood for 40 minutes, just recording like birds flying by and like cars passing.
That's actually smart.
Yeah, and so you can hear that in like the layering of that song and how that is, where like it became more than what I thought it was going to be, because it was supposed to just be like an acoustic track, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm really happy. That's like that's probably my favorite song that we have out right now.
Okay, okay, that's cool. Yeah, the birds. That's because you never. I like that. You know, just get all the type of content out there.
Yeah.
You never know what you need for sample type shit. You know.
Yeah, and so.
For sure. So when you guys, let's go back to a little bit to the beginning. So obviously, like when you're playing out and jamming out with your friends and all that stuff, when did you realize that like you actually have potential to make good music? Because like, you know, obviously you want to believe in yourself, but sometimes you have to be real and be like, is it good? Yeah. But like, when did you know like, oh wait, no, we actually are good and we should put stuff out?
I think that I'm delusional and a little bit of
well, we all are, right?
So I don't know. I knew that when Gunther and I started the band, that he and I, we actually weren't friends when we started the band. We kind of just like knew each other. I knew him from my ex-girlfriend. Like we went on double dates, and then I think that I talked to him more than I talked to her on the date, because I was just like, dude, what music do you listen to?
Right. You found out he played guitar and stuff.
Yeah. So like that's how we met. But I think that it was just like in that where like we like started the band, and we were just kind of sitting across from each other in my basement, being like, oh, what are we gonna do? And we're writing and we're doing it. And I think that he and I just naturally worked really well together. And so it was really cool. I think I don't know. I think that when we first started, the initial 4 people that we had in the band, that kind of helped like HemmingWay get off the ground. Like when we first started.
Yeah.
I think that we were just such a melting pot of like different influences and different styles of playing that it worked out perfect in our favor, where then we just had 4 different people that were like trying really hard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So. Definitely. If you guys are giving all your best, then you know, it's going to be something. It's gonna be something. No, but yeah. If you made it this far, make sure to subscribe, like, stream,
share this video with your grandma.
Exactly, share with the grandma. All that jazz. Thank you for being here with us. But anyway, back to the show. Oh, HemmingWay Lane. Okay, so let's talk about, you got a new project, EP.
Yeah, album? EP. We got it coming out.
You guys got a new EP coming out next month.
April 5th. April 5th. What's up?
Was their name for it?
Yeah. We announced it on Instagram this past week. Let the Flowers Die.
Let the Flowers Die.
Yeah, Let the Flowers
Die. Okay, yeah. Okay, and I listened to it, and I like the first song.
What do I know?
Yeah, okay, that's what it's called. Yeah, and I like the ending to Flowers too.
Flowers, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to, I don't know. Okay. It's probably be posted before it gets out. But
will it be?
Yeah, well,
if it's before April 5th. Pre-save Let the Flowers Die. If it's after, go listen to Let the Flowers Die.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to confirm or deny.
It's okay.
But I don't want to talk about the music too much because I want them to listen to it.
Hey.
Right? But anyway, when you're making this new EP and you already have an album out, talk about some of the struggles, because I feel like, is there any struggles? Because like, are you afraid that like, oh, we already done this before, or like, we need to make it better, because it's the second one?
Yeah, so I think there's always that. Like, am I going to be able to top what we've already done? And I think that we did do it with this EP. I'm so happy with how it turned out and what's to come. But yeah, no, I think there was a little bit of that where I was like, we've been writing this. Well, I've been working on like something new for HemmingWay for a while, and so it was a lot of like I I've learned a lot since I finished writing the first album. I've gotten better at the guitar and stuff, and so it was a lot of that where I was just trying new things, like trying things that I haven't done or stuff that I really liked that I've heard other people do. And so it was a lot of that, and I don't know. Yes, to answer your question, yes, there is that fear. Like,
definitely,
is this going to be like we've already done this? Is this going to be good? And so
why 5 tracks?
It's just what I had.
It's what I had. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like a lot of we have an album that is like not even close to being finished, like a second album that's not even close to being finished. But like I'd write a song and I'd be like, I don't think that this is like good enough for the, like, I don't want this for like the vibe of the album that we're trying to go for.
Right.
And so like I wrote What Do I Know in, I think like March of last year of 2023.
Okay.
And then we played that song for a really long time, and it was like I like that song.
Yeah, me too. I swear I've heard you play that song live.
Yeah. So I think that you saw us I think the last time you saw us was in July, right?
Yeah.
So we played it there.
Yeah.
But like we've been playing that song for a while, and then pretty much all 4 of the other songs that are on the EP that you've were written between like August and December, and so it was pretty quick for the other 4, but I felt pretty strongly about them, and I like demoed them out, sent something to the guys, and I'm like, what do you guys think? And
definitely. Yeah. So when coming out with the second album, you were like, would you like, so because you seem like you always are in the process of doing like live shows while doing music, so you're like doing shows and you write music and then you do
a lot of my writing process is pretty much like, well, kind of sick of playing Fortnite right now. I pick up a guitar and then I mess around. It's a lot of just like that, like trying to find a chord progression that I really like, and then seeing if I can find words for it, for the feeling that it gives.
What's one song? I think you already kind of said it, but what's one song that, you know, if these people that should listen to it, what are you excited for them to listen to? We already released our song Is Anybody Else Scared? Like that's the second song off of the EP. I really like that song. I like the way it turned out. I think that my favorite song off of the EP is Flowers, like the title track for it. Yep. Is that the outro?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's a good way to end the album. Yeah, I like that.
It's cinematic. It's a good kind of step forward into what I think the band will sound like in the future, and kind of what we're moving to. But I think just like lyrically and the content of it, I like it a lot. I think that Flowers will be my favorite off of it. That or Wisconsin.
Yeah. What was the meaning behind that?
With Wisconsin or Flowers? Wisconsin. Dude, we were in Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's what just singing about. I was like,
we were in Wisconsin. Just a little bit
deep,
like a little bit homesick. I missed my girlfriend a lot, and so I was just like, you know what? I don't know when I'm going to be back in Ann Arbor, but
you wrote that in Wisconsin.
Yeah. We were in Egerton, Wisconsin, at the world's largest Culver's.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was a thing, but
it's not that special, dude. I think the biggest difference is that they just have a second handicap stall.
Oh my god, so that's the only difference. Wow.
It looks like a regular Culver's, but yeah, we were sitting outside of this Culver's, and I like that kind of like folky, like you know, and so I was like doing that in the parking lot, and then that where we were standing, there was a river.
Yeah,
and you know, like there's a river.
You'll find out.
You'll find out, but
you said earlier when you I'm like, this is random, but like when you were how you met Gunther, how you guys became friends. You guys weren't friends, you just started playing music first. That reminded me of Elephant Den, because they did the same thing.
Yeah, I watched your interview with them. It's crazy, right? How that goes. Like I just texted Gunther one day and I was like, yo dude, you want to just start a band? And he was like,
I got nothing.
Yeah, I can come over on Tuesday, you know?
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting because when I saw the interview with them, if you haven't watched that interview,
go
watch
Elephant Den.
I love Elephant Den with my whole heart. We were talking about it. There's 2 other people in the room with us. But when we were driving up here, we were talking about them. And I think I said, like, I'll support them with everything that I have all the time. Like, dude, they could release absolute trash, and I'd be like,
it's hard for them to do that.
No, dude, I think it's impossible. Ben is like my favorite musician of all time, but dude, like they could release like something that isn't their best, and I'd be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. So,
dude, I mean, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know them, because I remember that's how I heard about them at Max Bar, and that's those guys are really good. But that's just so crazy though, that like music will literally like create new friends for you, even if you're not even like intention of being a friend. You're just like, well, we're hanging out all the time, so we might as well start liking each other. Like,
I think it's cool. Like since we started the band, like a lot of my friends that I grew up with have like grown up and gotten married and whatnot. And so I was sitting kind of just like in my room thinking about life, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny. I have like an entirely new cast of friends that I regularly hang out with all the time, and I get to be around all the time, and like I play music with, you know? And so it's really cool. I'm very grateful for what Hemmingway has brought into my life.
Hell yeah. And how do you get so like the networking? How do you just become so like good friends with all these other bands? Is it because like you're just performing and then you talk to them after?
Yeah. It's a lot of that. Like social media, just like interacting with people on Twitter.
Have you DM bands and stuff and they just respond back, or?
Yeah, like a lot of that. That's actually a lot of what just like booking a tour, like a DIY tour is.
Okay,
just
I didn't know
shooting
that.
like
DMs, yeah.
Oh, dude, shots in the dark, hoping somebody responds.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Because like worst case scenario, they'll just ignore you, right?
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, okay.
So it's a lot of that. But I think that for us, like here in Michigan, we have a really strong like local DIY scene that everybody's really supportive of each other, and like we're really lucky in that sense that like I can shoot a text to somebody that like from a band up here in Lansing, and then I have a show booked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And so
right.
it's very cool that we're fortunate in Michigan to have that, and a little bit Ohio too.
Yeah. So because you guys do claim a little bit of Ohio, too.
Just a little bit. Like we're from like just over the border in Michigan, so like technically we could be Bowling Green.
How far of a drive is that for you guys from?
For like Ohio, I could run to the Michigan
oh my gosh!
line
Okay,
in like,
so not
like
bad at all.
4 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So, shit. If you're still watching this, make sure to like, subscribe, share this with your grandpa this time.
Send this video to your worst enemy.
Your worst enemy. Yes, I love it. Okay, but yeah, that's so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's just stuff like that. I like just finding friends is it's really easy when you both have guitars in your hands, because you just go, "What are you doing?" and they go, "What are you doing?" and then you talk about it,
and then bam, you're best friends. But anyway, no, let's talk about the promoting now for the band and stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, music has changed. Music scene has changed in the last, even 10 years or so. Now we have TikTok, and next thing you know, you could be a nobody, and if a song blows up on TikTok, you're all of a sudden relevant now.
Yeah.
But anyway, how do you go about, getting the band name out there? Because you're independent, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's what I found, like we post, I don't know, 2 TikToks every 3 months. I'm not very good at it. We're trying pretty hard right now to get better at it with the EP coming out very soon. And so I think it's a lot of just consistent posting, like just shit posting on Twitter, dude. That's like, it works so much. And I think it's just like that. I think kind of my philosophy, it makes it sound smart. It's literally just like, if you're approachable online, you'll be approachable in person, like, And so I've actually, since like August, I've met, like, there are people that I had interacted with on Twitter, like, all the time. And then I would I'd meet them at shows, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's you!" You know what I mean?
Right.
And now they're like great friends of mine. And so it's I think it's just being active and going to shows, like that you aren't playing, that you aren't on. I think that's super important. Like that's how, dude, like my very best friend in the scene, his name is Jeff. Yeah. Like he showed up to one of our shows that we had like last March. And I was like, dude, I haven't seen you. And he was like, yeah, I figured I'd show up. And then like after that, I went to one of his band, the Brown Maple. I went to their show. And then like we just hung out. And then I think that it was at the Brown Maple show where I was like, we were talking about Fortnite, and he was like, wait, you play Fortnite? And I was like, yeah, I play Fortnite.
Brings everybody together.
Dude, it's the Fortnite might bring world peace one day.
Seriously, yeah. Ukraine, Russia, they just play a tournament. No kidding.
No. And then, so then we just started playing Fortnite. Like, I think that we played every single day for like the entire summer almost. And so it was just like that. And then here we are now.
Yeah. So, but in your mind, like in your opinion too, what do you think matters more? Like doing consistent live shows or posting consistent content?
Live shows.
Live shows.
Yeah,
why?
dude. I think I think that you can connect with a song that you listen to on Spotify, but I think there's just a whole nother level where you look at you go to a live show and you're there and you hear. I think it, for me personally, as the artist on stage, that was cringy.
You rolled your eyes at yourself. I'm dead.
I think for me personally, I think it's easier to convey the feeling that arises in me when I listen to some of these songs, and so I think live shows, I think that's the way to do it. I like that way more. TikTok is cool, but it can only get you so far. Like,
right.
You know, like you could blow up on TikTok, but if you have if you have horrible stage presence or just like a bad live show, then people aren't going to come and see you.
Definitely,
and so I think that it's an even battle between the two, but I do lean more towards the live performance than
okay. Yeah, I understand that, because I was talking about my friend that last night, and I asked him this question too, and I want to ask you, because you're a musician, and I think this is an interesting question, that like, would you rather have $200,000? It's not really like the same that we were just talking about, but would you rather have $200,000 in your bank account, or would you rather have 10 million streams on one song? Yeah, it's a tough question.
Dude, that is tough,
because it's like, I was asking my artist friend, and he said he'd take the streams because he would rather have the music, like, be everybody knowing the music. But I was telling him, like, the music is more important, because the money's more important, because you can do a lot more with the money than you could probably do with the streaming numbers. And plus, you don't even get paid for the streaming that much. You're only gonna get, like, I don't know, like, what, $2,000 for 10 million streams?
I think it's like $4 every 1,000 streams. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that question. Dude. That's a tough one.
Let us know in the comments. What would you guys rather have? Would you rather have $200,000 or 10 million streams on one song?
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely a tough question, but you can see both ways, though, right?
Yeah, I understand. I think it depends on the situation. I don't have a clear answer. I'd have to think about it. I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely. Next time you're on, let us know the answer. Hell yeah. So talk about being an independent artist, and what's that like, in 2024, and still promoting and doing everything by yourself? You like it?
I love it. Yeah. Like I usually like set aside a day a week where I have to kind of take care of everything that I have to get to. Mm-hmm. But I like it. Sometimes it takes me a second to kind of get into the swing of, like, when I sit down. But like once I start, I enjoy it. I like a lot of it. So right now is like messaging back and forth with our producer for the EP, Steve Worsler. Shout out to him. It's a lot of messaging him back and forth, trying to get him, like, we're like working out kind of ads and stuff like that, right, and just ways to promote. And so it's a lot of that. Shooting music video, it's fun. It's expensive.
I bet. Yeah,
it's like not having like label support, but at the same time, I think that so I don't know. You can be more proud of the work, or definitely, like the payoff. Reaping what you sow.
Yeah, because people won't be like, "Oh, you're industry plant" type stuff. I bet you that eats some artist away, because it's like, I did put in the work. That stuff. I didn't just. But have you ever would you ever consider signing to a label? Is that something that's crossed your mind, or would you like to do?
Yeah, I think. And
what's something that label would have to do for you to be interested in it?
Right now, so if it was like a major label, I think that if they just, if we just had like a consistent tour, like a booker for shows, that'd be cool. But I there's a few DIY labels that I respect and I really like. There's one from Toledo, Ohio called Kleptophase. It's with our buddies' equipment, and they have like a more of our friends like Brown Maple and Waving. They're all on that label. I like that one. Some of our friends are on Refresh Rex, and they're very cool. And so I think the possibility of us signing to an indie label that kind of ran out of somebody's living room. Yeah, is I wouldn't expect anything from them, because you're busy, I'm busy, it's fine. I'm completely fine with doing all the work. Mm-hmm. I think that it's just being part of a community like that, where then you have label mates that you're just you can kind of tour with, or you can play shows with, and then
your network grows even bigger and stuff.
And so I think it's stuff. I think it's like that. I think in the future, if we get to the point that one of the big three come to us and they're like, we want to sign you, I would be weary a little bit, to be honest with you, because I don't want to sign my life away. But
definitely not.
If one of our friends was like, hey, I'm starting a label, do you want to be on it? I'd be like, let me think. Maybe I'll give it some thought. So, it's cool.
Okay,
cool.
yeah. So it's like definitely you're not in no rush to do it, but
but if it happens, it happens, and I think it'll be fun.
That's a good way to think about it too, because I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, I need to get a record label, I need to get a deal. So because like they think that like because it's way harder to blow up independent versus having a label behind you, right? Yeah. So that's why everybody has that mindset of like, oh, if I don't have a label, then I'm not a good musician. But that's good.
But that's and I think that's not true.
I know it's not true, but that's just because they put it out there, and that's what you see on social media, and it's like, and that's what's on the radio too. Like, you don't hear independent artists on the radio rarely.
Yeah,
rarely, unless they're already
and stuff. But
it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, with in the future, could you ever see yourself like switching genres? Maybe like a shoegaze, or I don't know, like a reggae. I don't know, something like
it's probably not reggae. Yeah. I think I'd feel weird about doing reggae. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I think that influences come from anywhere and everywhere, and so some songs might be a little heavier than what we usually do, and some stuff like. Yeah, if we do like the kind of the fifth wave emo tappy stuff, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say that yes, we will. We might not. It might just be for a few songs. But I think, genre is like fluid. You can just do whatever you want.
I was talking to Headband Henny, another person that's been on the podcast before, and it's just like now music is just genreless. Well, almost. We're getting to the point where it's almost genreless. Like I saw, like what's that new form of techno music? House.
Okay.
I saw there's now house rap. It's like stuff like that. You can make any type of genre and just put two together and it's a new genre.
I think as long as you're passionate about it, you can do whatever you want, and that's. I don't know. Like the band that got me personally into playing music is like it's 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
So they kind of blend like that kind of rock and rap a little bit, and so. You just do whatever you want. If you like it, put it out there. Somebody out there will like it, and you'll be you'll grow. But genre means nothing.
Definitely doesn't mean anything as it was before. But okay, other than 21 Pilots, name 3 artists that you would like to work with in the future, if you could. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Paul McCartney.
McCartney. Okay, yeah.
I think Paul McCartney would be cool.
Mr. Beatle.
Dominic Fike would be so sick. I think he'd be really fun to work with. And then the Backseat Lovers. It's like my
Backseat. Okay, yeah.
Dude, I love them.
Definitely, yeah. Those are all good choices. No Alex G?
No, I'm all right.
That's where, I mean, that's more of my. I love his music. I love it.
It's very good. He's interesting. I see like live videos of him playing on TikTok all the time.
It's so funny.
Like I think that. I think he's interesting.
Yeah, he plays. I think he plays a character, but you have to when you're like that big,
Yeah, there's a little bit of a persona.
Exactly. I think that's what honestly keeps him still relevant is that his stage presence and what he does on live stages. Like he just fucks around. I'll call out the audience. He doesn't give a shit. Like, I mean, I can't imagine too. Like when you get that big, think of Steve Lacy. What's that song, Bad Habit? I can't imagine having all those fucking TikTok fans being at your show and only knowing one lyric, and then it gets quiet right after.
Yeah, that'd be
annoying. You have to call out the audience. Bro, what the fuck?
Listen to. I have good songs.
Exactly. It's already annoying that everybody's recording on their phones, not enjoying the show. It's now you can't even know my songs. But.
No, it was actually it was cool. I went to see. The band Group Love. Do you know that band?
I heard it.
They've got that song Tongue Tied.
Okay, yeah. That's why.
I just went to see them this past week, and the crowd was admittedly older, but they've been famous for so long, and it was so cool to see. It was so cool to see a room like that because there weren't that many phones up,
right?
And so it was just people in the room, and they knew every word to every song. I didn't know I didn't know the words to a lot of their songs. I went with my girlfriend, and she's a big fan.
Yeah.
But the songs that I knew, dude, I was screaming. But
Definitely,
it's cool to be in a room like that where
right.
you see a natural growth of a band and.
Everybody's just enjoying the moment.
Oh, dude, yeah.
No one's worried about I can't wait to post this or later.
Everybody is there in the moment. It was very cool. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I mean, not to downplay that. I mean, I do that too, but I don't do it the whole show. I mean, get a clip here and there.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But
your favorite part.
The whole show, come on, guys, put your phone down. But anyway, before we end this, I wanted to ask you a question. I want to do a new segment where I just ask my guest a question from the internet.
Okay.
So this is, I don't know what to call this, but let's see if HemmingWay Lane can help. I found a question off Reddit about r/bands. Okay. And this person had a question. So hopefully if this person is watching, probably not. But if you are, hopefully Elijah here can help you with the question. So the question is, the title is Nobody in the Group Can Sing.
Okay.
So it goes off, I'm 60 and in a band with 3 other guys my age. I'm self-taught, workman-like bass player. The issue I see that but others won't say is that our singer can't carry a tune. Honestly, the rest of us can't either. If we can, him, the drummer will go too, and the relationship will fracture. If we try to go forward, I see few gigs once they hear him in promo video. If we try to go forward, I see few gigs once they hear him in promo videos. I'm starting voice lessons, so maybe my backing vocals and occasional front singing will be better. I know what we need to do, but I don't know how to approach the subject without being a jerk.
So, like, how? So, I guess what the question is, like, what do you do in that scenario?
Yeah, what do you do in that scenario, or would you just kick them out and just try to find other band members?
I think you should always try to have a conversation before something like that, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't think it kind of reflects poorly on you if you're just like gung ho ready to kick somebody out, you know, right, for like whatever. I think he said he's 60.
Yeah. That's the part where I'm like, damn, dude, you're kind of,
I think, I don't know. Keep him, man.
Yeah. Keep him.
Yeah. Keep him. Who knows, dude? How many? There are so many famous people that can't sing. You know what I mean? So like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
sometimes you just find a pocket and you go, "This is what we sound like."
Right. You know?
Yeah,
I think that's a good point. I don't think the vocals is that important as long as it sounds good. Like as long as the other band members are playing good music, the vocals doesn't have to carry.
Yeah. If you got a drummer that can kill it, a drummer and a bassist that can kill it, you're fine. Your band is going to be crazy, and so yeah,
don't fire the singer, and plus you might lose the other guitarists too if you do.
Yeah, don't do that. So,
and you're already 60, so I mean, you guys might as well just thug it out and keep playing. So
just keep playing. Who knows? It could be the next.
Who knows? Okay, well that was that. Answering the question. Thank you so much for answering the question.
Of course.
Hopefully that person could I don't know,
give a little bit more insight.
Exactly. Anyway,
give a context.
Thank you so much, Elijah, for coming on the show.
Of course.
I really appreciate you, man. If you haven't, please check out their EP. Maybe it's out. We don't know. But
if it is,
pre-save it and stream it. Yeah. Both. Do both.
Yeah, do both.
Pre-save it already after it's out. But.
Yeah. Pre-save the next one.
Definitely. No. Okay. Anything you want to say before you end it?
We're playing. We have a few shows coming up. We're playing in Ann Arbor at the Blind Pig on April 19th, and then we're going on tour in May. So if you want to come and see us, go to our Instagram at HemmingWay.Lane and stream Let the Flowers Die on April 5th.
Yes. All that stuff will be in the bio. Make sure to stream, follow them on Instagram, follow us on Instagram, subscribe, share the podcast, do all that jazz. Thank you again for listening to another episode of the Loser Island podcast /TV show. Have a good day.